Hi, my name is Stevie Zephyr Francis, and I am presenting my research topic on boredom research by Vicky Isley and Paul Smith. They were established in 1999 in England, and they use 3D media, video games, animation, and like film tools to create little cinematics about many different subjects that we'll get into. They have collaborated with many science institutions since 2014 to create their projects. One of their projects, Afterglow, is collaborative between art and science, and it won the Moving Image in 2016 at the Lumen Prize Award. Another notable work is The Cavanoids Dance, which was released in 2022, and they were actually residents at UNESCO in Cuilcagh Lakelands Geopark, which is in Ireland. So they use their research as a means to create video. So how this works is they tend to be residents and they do research with actual local experts in places to study a subject. And then they use their medium, which is digital, to represent subjects such as global warming, climate change. I guess it's kind of the same thing. No, they're different. And extinction, which we'll get into as well for my favorite one. And these video mediums can go really well in museums. I think that they make multiple statements, because when we talked about both in Module 1 and Module 2, why museums and museums' actions towards climate change, I think video formats are not only a really good way to engage an audience, especially in a modern era where so many things are digital and younger audiences are more appealed towards digital media. It's also more sustainable. When things are digital, you're not wasting as much. And even, you think of the power that the power sources used for these can be via solar power, wind power, water power. It can be reusable resources. So their newest project is called Gentle as Moss on Stone, and that releases in 2025. There's currently a trailer out. It released on February 20th, I believe. They researched as residents in Powys, Wales, and they studied rare mosses and the subject of vulnerable species. My personal favorite is The Ultimate Fate of Jeremy Fisher, and that was made with 3D animation, Mac Mini, short throw HD projector, custom-built back projection screen, and soundbar. That is directly from Boredom Research. And it talks about amphibian mass extinction. The frog in the video is Mr. Jeremy Fisher, who is the last known living Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog. They became extinct in 2016 due to chytridiomycosis, which is an infectious disease in amphibians. So that one was my favorite because I think extinction is awful. Hot take. But anyway, so ultimately boredom research is simple concept. They go somewhere, they research, they collect data, and they then represent that in a digital media. And I, as an art major who is minoring in animation, I think that's a very interesting and powerful subject. It's a very interesting and important way to engage an audience because when we're watching films, we tend to connect to them. For example, one of my other classes is about Disney and the history of Disney. And one of the number one things that we keep talking about is how we connected and to Disney as like children and even as adults now and how we grow up with that. And so I think digital media and digital film is an extremely effective medium for discussing climate change and sustainability, especially in museums and online, because it can be viewed both, which I think accessibility is also extremely important because not everyone can go to a museum in person. So I think digital museums are definitely a more notable thing for the future. So yeah.